All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So the third Jets practice of training camp just wrapped up, and supposedly this one looked a lot different than the previous two. Okay, and we're going to get into it, but of course we have to factor in no pads. There's only so much that we can actually take away from these early practices in this section of training camp. And of course, too, the Jets are starting a week early before every other team outside of Cleveland. But in any case, if you're like me, you want to know what's going on at these practices. Unfortunately, down in Florida, I can't make it up. Shout out to every single fan that made it out today. I was watching the New York Jets live stream from practice on their YouTube channel, and they kept panning over to the fans, and it just looked packed. It looked like an awesome time. So if you win, that's awesome. I hope you had a great time. Now, according to multiple reporters, it seemed like today's practice was a little bit more physical, a little bit more chippy, a little more aggressive than we've seen in the past couple of days. Supposedly guys were flying around, hitting the ground. At one point, Michael Clemens was swinging. There was a fight between Jermaine Johnson and I believe it was Kenny Yeboah. And personally, I got to be honest, it doesn't really bother me all that much, right? Of course, you don't want to be going out there trying to fight your own teammates and everything. But on one hand, we have to ask the question, why are these guys playing with that extra gear? Why are they extremely aggressive? It's because they want to be there. It's because they're competing, right? It's the first practice with fans. Just a lot of energy in the environment. Early part to training camp. It's hot. It's in the middle of the summer. And this is one of the main reasons why I love joint practices so much. Luckily, the Jets have two set up with the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a little later on in training camp here in the middle of August. But you get that extra ramp up of energy. You take the governor off, if you will. You're going up against different players. You're going up against a different system. It's a new look. You're not constantly tackling your own teammates. There's that sense of heightened aggression, which I like. I really, really like, right? I think it just bodes well for the team's mentality. I would much, much, much rather have the team, both offensively and defensively, be a little bit more aggressive or a little too aggressive as opposed to the opposite. Lackadaisical. Nobody really seems like they want to be there. It just seems like guys are, there because they have to, or they're getting paid, and they're just, it's just a means to an end. Let's get this practice over with. Nobody really wants to be here because let's face it, this isn't, if we look across the league, right, the landscape of the NFL, all 32 teams aren't practicing at a heightened level of aggression. There are some teams out there, and multiple teams, multiple years, that it does seem like there is a bit of there's a lack of energy, if you will. And I'm so glad, in a season like this, that it's the exact opposite. And again, we're only 3 practices in. Stuff could change, but with the joint practices coming up, I really personally, right, I'm not saying I'm right here, this is just my personal preference, I like that added juice, if you will, because again, it shows the passion. It shows that these guys want to be there. They want to compete. They want to win these jobs. They want to make plays and impress the coaches. Now, shifting gears and talking about Aaron Rodgers, supposedly he looked really, really good. Had multiple touchdown passes. Tyler Conklin, Corey Davis, McCall Hardman. I guess he made a really, really nice play to Garrett Wilson at one point where he put a move on Sauce Gardner, got open, and Rodgers hit him perfectly. Now, granted, the play before that, apparently Gardner made a really, really nice pass breakup on Garrett Wilson. But, I mean, 2 great players, respected, at their respective positions, corner, wide receiver, and then you got Rodgers throwing him the football. Of course, you're going to have a back and forth there. And to be honest with you, that positional matchup, Sauce versus Wilson, I mean, those 2 guys are going to make themselves better, right? For Gardner's perspective, to go up against Rodgers throwing him the football and then Garrett Wilson running routes trying to get open, that is going to make Sauce a better cornerback. And then if you flip it, right, Wilson trying to get open against one of the game's best corners in football, yeah, of course, that's only going to make him better. So I love that dynamic that we have on the outside. But going back to QB, apparently Rodgers looked really, really smooth all day. Just the delivery, the ability to complete passes, maneuver the offense, and ultimately, connect with guys in the end zone. But it wasn't just Rodgers. Supposedly Zach Wilson looked solid too. Overall on the day, the offense looked a lot better. right? This is coming from multiple reporters here: Zach Rosenblatt, Dennis Waszak, Brian Casello, Connor Hughes, and Rich Cimini. Now, the defense, funny enough, had to get down and do push-ups at the end of practice. The offense won it in the end, and this is a nice change of pace, right? We've seen the defense win both days in the first part, and again, taking everything with a grain of salt, no pads. There's really only so much that we can pull from these practices, but it's still really, really cool to kind of know what's going on and knowing how these guys look. On that note, though, Dwayne Brown was at practice, but didn't practice. Supposedly yesterday he wasn't there, but he was excused from practice, not so much injury related. I believe it was Eric Allen who said on the Jets live stream, who said that he was excused for a personal reason. Now, Greg Zuerlein actually looked really good today. He went 6 for 6 according to Dennis Waszak. Now, there is no competition at the kicker spot as of right now, but I got to be honest, I'm fine with it. I think when we look at what Zuerlein did last season, he earned the starting kicker spot, right? Finally, the Jets have some stability here. And also factoring in that Zuerlein's a veteran, he's done this before. I am, for the first time in a long time, feel good. I feel confident in the kicker. Just the ability to knock down the kicks that he's supposed to, right? 40 and in, 45 and in. And then with those 45 plus yarders, it's like, okay, we still have a pretty good chance of getting, 3 points here. No botched extra points or anything like that. I mean, the last place that we want to be is duking it out with the Buffalo Bills, with the New England Patriots, with the Miami Dolphins, with the Chiefs, with the Eagles, and it comes down to a field goal. It comes down to an extra point, and we botch it because we don't have a kicker. We've seen in the past couple of seasons, obviously not so much last year, but cycling through kicker after kicker, Eddie Pinheiro, just multiple guys. We haven't had that stability, but now it finally seems like we do. Now, I know we just talked about the offense having a ton of success, right? Aaron scoring the touchdowns, just him apparently looking super smooth on the day. Saleh actually addressed it in the post-practice presser where he said it was just a really, really good day for him. Zach Wilson as well. But we did have a couple of standouts on defense. Apparently, Quinnen Williams made a couple of really, really nice plays getting in the backfield with a couple would-be sacks. John Franklin Myers had a would-be sack early on. Quentin Jefferson, the pass rushing D tackle that we scooped from Seattle, had 2 would-be sacks as well. So I'm happy, man. Like, when I'm thinking about this team, just like macro perspective, big picture, it's great defense, pass rushers all over the place from the outside, left side, right side, interior, multiple guys, depth, talent, upside, high floors. The pass rushers are all over the place. We have 2 great corners in DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner on the outside, and a really, really good one on the inside with Michael Carter. And then, of course, veteran leadership at linebacker, athletes all over the place. The defense is going to be flying. We have the resume from last season. And then offensively, more question marks for sure with positional battles, with health, on the offensive line for sure has to be talked about. But Aaron Rodgers, man in the quarterback spot, new OC, new system, new play caller, new offensive coaches. It's I'm loving the direction. I am loving the direction. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. And again, if you manage to make it out to practice, or you're planning on going out to one of these practices, have fun. And by the way, if you can, I don't want to be a bother, but just send me some videos. Send me some cool pictures, right? If you could meet a coach or meet a player, or I don't even know if they allow like a ton of video at practice, but if you can get some sweet shots or anything, just send them my way, just in DMs or something, because I'm all about that stuff, and I wish I was there. So anyway, thanks so much, and as always, go Jets.